Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, we are on again today. I've been running into a lot of scenarios that I feel like that you guys could learn from and get some ideas for your own situations. So I wanted to join today and say hello, hello, and welcome. I also want to talk to you about your Christmas debt. Christmas debt. Oh my goodness. We act like that it's not going to happen, but it is. It's going to happen. So we're going to let some people join here in just a minute and get this thing up and rolling. Meanwhile, I am going to be putting some numbers on the board and we're going to be seeing what exactly your Christmas debt may look like with using Velocity Banking instead of a loan. So let's check this out. First, I'm going to start by, we're going to pretend that this person has an income of 3,500. That's pretty low, right? 3,500 a month. And we're going to kind of work on $3,500 worth of Christmas debt. I know that seems like that it's super, super low, or it may be super, super high. Oh my gosh, look at me. I'm just all the pieces here today. Oh my gosh. So when we think about Christmas debt, how does that look exactly? What does the Christmas debt look like to you? For me, it's more expensive today than it was 15 years ago. It may be the same for you. So I need some ideas on what your Christmas debt may look like. And we are going to talk about that right now, how you can get through Christmas and not be suffering in January when those new payments come due. Okay? Also, we want to talk about not just taking on the Christmas debt, but how are we going to get rid of it? Because it is super important that you are aware of your options. If you guys did not watch the live from yesterday, please go back and watch that, especially if you're in a mortgage or you're considering getting into a mortgage anytime soon. Uh, that was two great examples that I gave yesterday on how just a minimal $5,000 can make years worth of payments and interest go away. And you need to be aware. Hello, hello from Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to let some more sign on here for a minute, and I'll just shoot the bull with you for a second. Today is Friday. Can you believe it? We made it to Friday. If you guys are in an office job or if you just work Monday through Friday, I know Friday is a super fun day to see come, right? Now we got the weekend and we can go do, well, what are we doing? We're probably like cleaning house, trying to do some things with the kids that we weren't able to do all week. But hopefully some of you guys are not going to a second job. I mean, not unless you want to. Maybe you're building your dream and it's okay. You want to take some time to work on that for sure, because if you're building a dream, then that's probably going to help you um, get out of that first job, right? Especially if it's going to bring in good income. But sometimes we do things just because we enjoy doing it. So when I was working in the corporate world, I was helping people, after hours during my lunch break, just trying to help other people get their debt under control, which that's tough because I enjoy working with the people so much on debt elimination that I didn't want to go back to my job. So that's why I eventually decided to tank the job and get a real job to where I'm helping you guys figure out your finances. So, all of that being said, Christmas is coming and it is a super, super scary time for some people who can't figure out where they're going to get the money to take care of Christmas. You're going to get into a position where Christmas is going to happen and you're going to be prepared. Okay. This waiting until, it's time to buy Christmas presents, that's not good for anybody. And I remember so well back in the day, if we had any money, you're talking maybe $200 that we spent for Christmas. Um, and if you guys have a number in your head that you use for Christmas funds or you expect to spend at Christmas, put that in the chat because I'm interested in hearing what you all spend for Christmas or what your idea for Christmas is going to be when it comes to your spending. Hello, hello. I realize not everybody does Christmas, and that's your prerogative. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking with the people that, you really know you're going to be buying the presents. I remember thinking I needed to buy decor, and I didn't have the money to do that even unless I went to a yard sale. Do you all know what a yard sale is? It's a sale in the yard. And maybe a garage sale, a sale in the garage. So, yeah. Sorry, I've been there, done that. I usually love going out looking for yard sales on weekends. I just think that's fun in general. One man's junk is another man's treasure or something like that. Hello, I am not getting in debt. You help me get out of debt and I'm not getting back in it. Yay for you, Nana Life. Hi, I need a good app to manage and track expenses. That is going to be the Debt Blaster. That is a software that does everything. It even makes comparisons between what no method, the snowball method, the avalanche method, and the velocity method. It literally compares those for you and shows you which one works fastest. And I'll go ahead and spoiler, so get ready. Velocity banking always wins, always by about a third of the time that it takes to use the snowball method. Not trying to knock any other gurus out there, but if you would like to run some numbers with me, we can do that. So the idea is to get you all into a strategy, not into frugality. Of course, if we get frugal, we're going to pay off our debt, or we're not going to be paycheck to paycheck. Of course, that is not rocket science. That's common sense. And we know that if we stop eating out, and if we'll stop buying the extra things, and if we'll get the second job, we know that all of that is going to help with our finances. But who the heck wants to? Who wants to think, oh, I can't run to McDonald's? No, because, I'm putting my money in my envelopes and it says I can't eat out until next Wednesday. I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm not playing that game anymore. I hope you have found a solution to get you out of that ruckus as well. So I want to talk today about the Christmas money because that is a big deal. In the chat, tell me, how much do you plan to spend for Christmas? It can be zero because maybe you just don't have it. Or maybe you're planning on taking that loan. And then you're like, oh, okay. Chat with boys and key takeaways. I'm looking for, that popped up on my computer, and I'm looking for options for people to call in during lives. That's what we're setting up right now as I speak. We're getting a membership set up on the YouTube channel so that, when I'm doing a live stream for members, then you can maybe do a Google Meet while I'm doing the live. And that way everybody sees what answers one person can get, and maybe it'll give you some ideas as well. And if you happen to be the one that gets thrown the call, then you're going to get the answers to your financial questions. So I decided to set that up because I thought, if we could just help the community in general without people paying a one-on-one fee, that would be great. I think it would be great. So I'm excited about that. I will put the Debt Blaster link in the chat just in case you want to go check that out. I think you get your first, let's see, you get your, I think if you pay for the annual, which is, I think it's $15, $16 a month, then you get 2 months free if you pay annually. And I think you get 30 days free if you use VANNtastic Vault 30. You get the first 30 days free on that as well. So let me pull that up here and I will put that in the chat. And then we'll get started on our Christmas money, what that's going to look like. That's not it. Here it is. So I am putting that in the chat right now, and that's the Debt Blaster software that tracks expenses. That is in the chat. Boy, you all really just don't want to share. You really just don't want to share how much you spend for Christmas, do you? Gets embarrassing, doesn't it? Turn my phone off so it doesn't keep beeping at me while I'm sitting here. 500, maybe a little bit more. That's a good number. That's a good number. Keeping a budget for each kid. That's awesome. Have a statue built for me. Thank you so much, Mark. I'm assuming that means that you're getting lots and lots of help and information from the channel. So thank you for that. I am in Tennessee. Love Christmas. Now that I've found a way to utilize my finances and spend with sense and know how to control my spending with VB, I plan to spend about $3,500 and bless someone else with another $500. Yay for you! 1,000 to 1,500. That's about right too. You're welcome. You're welcome. I do not have a budget and never had one. Should I have a budget? I don't go into debt, but I'm sure I spend more than I need. No, not if you're not trying to get out of debt. Do not. Is my hair wild today or what is happening? Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't believe in that. I mean, if you feel like you're spending $3,500, like we're getting ready to talk about here, and you think, wow, that's just really ridiculous. But I have so many different, I have 3 children and, they're going to get it. And then, I have other family that I like to put into on Christmas. And then, the little things. And then, helping people at the church. And then just trying to do all kinds of stuff now. But before, no joke. I would probably didn't have $250 to spend on Christmas. And sometimes I think a lot less. So for you guys who just cannot bring the finances together to do it, you're who I'm talking to today, because I have been known to do the checks in the mail or to do, the quick, what is it? One Main, where you can go by and they'll give you money and they charge you, I don't know. I think I calculated one time it was 37%, which if you put that in an amortization schedule, you're talking about a whole lot more. That's what we're getting ready to talk about. This is not One Main. This is, I don't know if I should say the name out loud because they might get mad at me. And if they get mad at me, they might say something. So it's just one of those high interest loan companies. Let me say it that way. But with this one, $3,500. How long do you think it should take you to pay off $3,500? I don't know. It depends. I mean, the payment on this one is $160. There may not be a person in the room that would say, oh, okay, so if it's $160, then I have that much in cash flow. And $3,500 for Christmas sure would be a good idea. So I think that I'll just go with the loan, because what's $160 a month, right? I mean, am I the only one that had that mentality? Am I the only one that thought, oh, wow, that's just $100 a month, and that's going to give me $2,000 to spend on Christmas. I can do that. That's where they get you. That's where they get you. Using Ulta points this year. Me too, Judith. Me too. That's exactly what I do. I love Ulta. I also use Fetch. Fetch is excellent for, just scanning your receipts throughout the year and then being able to get the Amazon cards back at Christmas. I do that. I have a Fetch link in this video below if you all are in the description. If you all are interested in knowing more about Fetch, let me see if I can pull that up too. That way I'll just share all the links I can share with you while I'm on here thinking about it. I will not fear. I will not. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, I've got it right here. Fetch. And if you go through my link, then guess what? We both get extra points. So I'm good with that if you're good with that. If you're not, go figure it out yourself. But I will put my link here so that you guys know what I do. Okay. I used to think that about loan payments. Me too. I did. I'm serious. 1 million just rang my phone to try and get me to redo my loan again. Not happening. Oh my goodness. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Okay, so let's get started on what we're going to talk about here. $3,500. You need it for Christmas. Maybe you need it for a car repair, whatever. But let's talk about what that looks like when we're using the loan. So I am reading straight from a loan paper that I got in the mail. This is a loan. Okay. So y'all know that I'm being real. And according to this, I get $3,500. And I'm going to pay $160. Okay, pen. Okay, pen. 100. Okay, why are you going out on me? $160.31. Okay, so how many payments is this for? 36. So let's take the 160 times 36 months. Okay, not bad. I mean, 160, that's not bad. Times 36, $5,771.16. Wait a minute. Didn't we just borrow $3,500? $3,500 is all we borrowed. Why are we paying back over $5,000? Let's do the math. Let's subtract out what we originally borrowed. So 5,771.16. Subtract out 3,500. $2,271.16. Do you all see this? Do you see this? You're paying $2,271 in interest only because you took $3,500, which means you're going to pay back $5,770. Why wouldn't you just get $5,000 and not pay them back the $2,271? Why wouldn't you just do that and avoid throwing away 2,000 extra dollars of what you're working every day to make? I don't care if it's over a 36-month period. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You just have to make a decision that I'm going to get my bank tools in order and I'm going to use 3,500 if I need to, but I'm not going to pay no $2,200 in interest for it. Okay, so let's imagine that you're into velocity banking and you're like, okay, and you need to do this early in the year. You don't wait until right before Christmas to decide, oh, okay, I'm going to get ready here and I'm going to, give me a loan, make Christmas happen. I'll figure it out later. No, that's what causes stress for the next year. But if you have prepared ahead of time that, okay, I'm going to get 3,500 and I'm going to get ready for Christmas in December. And then whether we charge that on a credit card, I love credit cards and no, I will not cut mine up. Thank you. I'm going to use my credit cards. And we're not going to be talking about cash rewards today on a credit card. We're going to be talking about paying off that credit card and paying off that personal line of credit or whatever you're getting for Christmas. This person, I'm going to say, makes 3,500. I don't know why my pens won't write on this board. 3,500 income. And let's say this is 20%. Let's just get ridiculous here. 20%. And it's Christmas. We've spent the 3,500. And now it's time to start working this back down. Okay, so let's take two scenarios. Let's take one like that you put it in a credit card. And let's take the other like it's a personal line of credit or a HELOC, whatever you can use. So if we take 3,500 in a credit card, we're going to pay more like 29%. So let's just be real. And then if you take a personal line of credit, you're looking at about 12%. Okay, so let me start this over. I said 20, but we're going to use a credit card or we're going to use a 12%. Now, before we start running the numbers, let's talk about the income, 3,500. And this is a pretty low income. For the American average right now is about $5,400 per month. So if this person has expenses and let's say, well, they were going to take on a $160 per month loan. So let's just assume that they have, let's just play with the numbers here. Maybe they have $300 per month in cash flow. So remember, this is the personal line of credit. This is the credit card. 3,500 if they have, so they have 3,200, I guess, coming out in expenses every month. And that leaves them $300 in cash flow. So that's the way we're going to run the numbers, and let's just see what happens. Now, for myself, throughout the month, I use a credit card for everything. Okay, I charge food, gas, car insurance, subscriptions, utilities, anything I can get on a credit card, it's going to go on a credit card first. Okay, then I'm going to come in with my line of credit and pay that off by the due date so that I'm not getting any interest charged on the credit card. But in this situation where maybe this person is choosing to use a credit card, we're going to run the numbers and see what this looks like. Then we're going to with the line of credit. Now, let me say something about the credit card. If you have Capital One, Chase, those, you are not, to my knowledge, going to be able to withdraw cash from the credit card and put into a checking account unless you get their convenience checks. Okay? So why I'm saying that is you can't put your whole income into a credit card. If you do, then if you have rent or you have a house payment or you have things that can't be paid with a credit card, you're going to be stuck. Okay? So the idea is we put our cash flow into the credit card, which in this case is $300. And it's just math. So 3,500 times 29% divided by 12. That would be $85 for the first month interest. And then, of course, it comes down after that. So if you're looking at how long it would take to pay off a credit card that you're just using for the cash flow, you're talking about... Two. This one would be 300. That's literally going to be a payoff of about 14 months. So 14 months, and then you're going to have in interest, you're going to have times 14, you're going to pay about $728 in interest total. Okay, so that's for the credit card. Did you all just hear what I said? Using a 29% credit card, 29%, you can have it with a 300 cash flow, including the interest. You can have it paid off, the 3,500 paid off in 14 months, and you only spend $728 in interest. How much was the interest on this loan for 3,500? How much? $2,200 plus. And people are out there screaming, telling you to cut up your credit cards. If you're using a credit card correctly, you wouldn't have to cut it up. You would know how to do velocity banking through that thing. And it would be even better than this because I use credit cards for all my expenses. So I'm already putting the money in there to cover my expenses. So the payment is satisfied when my income's going in. For example, my pen will write, my marker, whatever you want to call it. If I have, and go with me guys, because this is very, very good information. This is where I started. If you have $1,000 a month, and I'm just using guesstimations here, $1,000 a month that you spend on food, whether that be dining out or groceries. If you have $150 that you spend on car insurance, maybe you have $100 in a utility bill. Maybe you have $200 in gas. Maybe your Verizon will not allow me to charge on a credit card without, like charging more. So I do have that come through my checking account so that I get the discount for paying through my checking account. So I'm not sure if your mobile service will allow you to do that. But I mean, I have subscriptions galore from my alarm system to Hulu, Netflix, things I use around the office. So I probably have a good $500 in subscriptions. And all of this is chargeable on a credit card. All of it. More. You can come up with more if you do any kind of shopping. You know, household supplies at Walmart. It's all chargeable. So let's add this up if I can do math without a calculator. So that's a $1,950. Okay. So what if with this 3,500 credit card here that we're working on, what if I took $1,950 and put into this credit card just to cover my expenses? So this is my cash going in to cover my food, my car insurance, my utilities, my gas, and my subscriptions. And then I decide, okay, well, I have 300 more in cash flow. I could throw that in here too, just to be getting the sucker paid off. So let's do the math. 3,500 minus 1,950 minus 300. $1,250. Now, what are they going to be charging interest on with a credit card? What are they going to be charging interest on? Is it going to be on 3,500? Or is it going to be as income goes in, your balance drops, right? When expenses start coming back out throughout the month, the balance may increase back up. But you're talking about cutting your interest charges down by doing this. What would the interest charge be here? If on 29%, 3,500, I charged an average of $52 in interest, the first month being the highest, the last month being 0. So I charged $52. That's how I got the $728 total interest, which is way high, I think, but total interest that would be paid on paying off the $3,500 credit card. So if you're doing it this way, where you're putting income in to cover expenses, then they're coming back out throughout the month as you buy gas, you know, today, go to the grocery store tomorrow, buy a new shirt the next day, which shirt's not included in here. Your car insurance may come out on the 1st. You may have a utility that comes out on the 15th. So throughout the month, it adds back up. But the idea is to get your interest down. So let's see what the interest on average would be on these two numbers. Times 29%. So your first month high would be about $57.50, somewhere in there. But the average would be about $29, $30. So see, I was charging $52, but by revolving your expenses in through this credit card, you could get it down to as low as $30 in interest per month. That adds up. So the idea is to use your credit cards as expense cards so that you're keeping the balance down while you're working to pay it off. Okay? Now, do you have any questions about that before I go on? Again, little old Van Vleck, Texas. Is that really a place? How cool is that? Loan sharks, good idea. I'm struggling to start blessing this credit score is under 600 and collections showing, but just set up payment plans will not qualify for an LOC. You may want to check with Money Max. Money Max can help you even if they don't care about your credit scores. As long as you have $1 of cash flow, it will get you out of debt and quickly. I'm in California. I make good money, but most of the cost of living can be a little costly. Using less money. won't take long. This system lets you enjoy life and stay out of debt at the same time. Amen and amen. We got another Californian. So we got somebody that's got their opinion about Christmas in here. Just saying, not okay. That's just an opinion. We've all got one. Thanks for teaching us. You're welcome. You're welcome. I use credit cards as my expense cards as well. Paid them off in full every month. Credit scores have soared over 800 because of this amazing concept, velocity banking, plus the perks and points I get. Yes, we're not even including what your cash rewards could be coming back off of this by using it as an expense card. So good thought. Good thought. Okay, so no questions about what we're looking at right now. You all are just super smart. I knew it. Okay, so we went over the credit card side of it. Now let's talk about what the HELOC side or the personal line of credit would look like if you're using and you have access to this HELOC at 12%. Meaning that you can, it's a revolving line, so you can put all of your income into it and you can pull all of your expenses out of it. So you've got a HELOC personal line of credit. It's about 12%. And now you have $3,500 that you've charged for Christmas. And time to work it off. Time to pay that sucker off. Okay. So you're going to, if you have this revolving line, then guess what goes in here? The income for the month. What did that do? Christmas taken care of for you? We're not stressing over interest? Okay, so with this person that I was giving the example here, they have $3,200 in expenses every month. So we add the $3,200 back. $3,200. They were going to pay $3,200 anyway throughout the month. They were going to be paying their expenses anyway. To me, this looks like a free $3,500. I mean, does anybody else think that, wow, wait, that what just happened here? What just happened? What? So what would be the basics on, you're kind of guesstimating what your interest would even be here, but we can play with it. Times 12%. $17.50. Yeah, I think we can handle that. Guess what? They're going to get paid again in month 2. So we've got a $3,217.50 balance. Month 2, they can't even put all of their income into this. So, oh, well, wow, that Christmas stress just kind of flew out the window. Does anybody agree? Does anybody have questions about that? Because it seems, just because I've been doing this a while, but it seems like that's a great plan for Christmas. You had a great Christmas. The people around you had a great Christmas. You weren't stressing out over money. And guess what? You're not stressing out in January getting ready to start paying those bills. I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much, Ray Speed. I love you too. I love you too. Let's see. I use credit cards for all my expenses as well. Paid them off every month in full. Credit score. Oh, I just read that. Am I having a senior moment? What just happened? If I pay on my mortgage in chunks of $10,000 through a line of credit, do I still pay my mortgage payment? Well, of course. Yes. For the questions about the mortgages, I did the live yesterday. So if you want to go into the channel and look under lives, you'll see where I did the 2 mortgages we were talking about doing chunks on. Maybe that'll help you too. You are welcome, Ray. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. Okay, guys, that's all I had for today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but this Christmas debt is not a problem. It's not a problem. Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much, ML. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I can't believe that we're to the holidays already, but when I saw how fast February came, 2025, I said, oh my goodness. This is going to be another fast year. I am busy. I am going to start the YouTube membership though. Because like I said, if we have members in there and I put out a phone number during the live stream, we can discuss, one-on-one kind of in front of the members. But, it's good for people to hear actual scenarios and what's actually going on with other people. So I'm going to allow the call-ins to discuss this live and online so that, somebody might hear something in one person's scenario that they could use in their own. And I just feel like I want to take some time to do that. I think that'll be really good. Thanks. You're incredible and I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate that so much. Christy, when will you come to California? I've tried to inform people about this amazing concept. Maybe you teach them. Well, so we're doing the Myrtle Beach conference in April. So we're going to do that. I have a couple of clients actually in Texas that have suggested that I come out there and I have a meet and greet. I may look at doing that. I've kind of got to find or somebody give me the facility information and everything so we can see, who's going to work with us to set up a meet and greet or conference out there. California, I've got several Californians as clients. So people are listening. It's just probably like it is here where I live, and you can't really get people to. It's like in this area, it's almost like people, well, of course you've got debt. You're always going to have debt. What's the big deal? Let's work on something else. I never had that mentality because I was like hating that I had to make payments every month. And I hated how broke I felt. But you wouldn't believe how that can be in a culture. And people just think, oh, well, that's just what we do. That's just what we do. Well, of course, we're not going to have any money left over. That's just the way it is. And, I don't want that mentality. I do not. So Californians are listening. I have them all over the state. Texas is my big state. California is the next, and then Florida. And then they're sporadic throughout the rest of the U.S. and some in other countries, believe that or not. You have helped me better understand my finances and the steps to get out of credit card debt. Yay! I'm so happy for you, Shane. Thank you. Jesus is in the house. Jesus is in the house. You are so right. Holidays are designed to make companies profit. Christmas might be the biggest one. Yes. Nothing but a boost. Yeah. Although I put Jesus in there because he is my Lord. So I do celebrate Christmas and I add that part into it. But I think the gift giving, I love to do that throughout the year anyway. And that's just an extra special time that I can really see all of the gifts coming to people at one time, and we all open them together, and we're all happy, and everybody's wonderful. And then, you know, January the 2nd comes and you go back to life, right? You're welcome, Carlos. Thank the Lord. Wow. I will be there just like Californians know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will. I do everything, you know, when I'm going to hold any events, they always go through lives. I don't do a lot of lives. But I mean, I try to keep everybody updated. I have contacts through my website that you can go get your name on the email list if you want to get the information of what I'm offering, whatever given time. January is our virtual conference. It will be recorded. So January is $59. We're bringing in Chris and Ogle, JJ the CPA, the banks, Money Max. Everybody's going to be there to talk about what they do, how it works, and answer your questions. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let me see if I can put that link in here for anybody interested. I'm in the wrong section. But the April conference, like I said, in Myrtle Beach, that's coming up. We have the Debt Blaster that we talk about. Of course, Money Max. Oh, the Money Max, is that Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, is going to be a Money Max webinar. You are welcome to join that as well. What else do we have going on? Oh, I know. I was going to put the link to the 3-day webinar that starts January the 8th, I believe it is. January the 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's always a lot of fun, a lot of information. Like I said, it's recorded. Yeah, I've got it here. Okay, so this is the January webinar if you want to register for that. You can register for that here. Oh, I'm offering November the 29th and December the 6th are Saturday sessions that I'm having Q&A to review some worksheets. You're welcome to join that. And then, so I'm only doing 2 Saturdays because we're getting too close to the holidays here, Christmas too. You know, be doing a lot of extra stuff right now. But we have the Saturday 29th and December the 6th that you can join. It's 2 90-minute sessions. We'll be going over worksheets. We'll be talking about velocity banking. I have a link for that. I also am going to be allowing a Sunday evening for the people that are out west, first off, so that you can join in. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday nights, and that's November the 30th and December the 7th. So you all can join those as well. Like I said, we're starting the YouTube membership so that you can join that and come into a live. And we're going to have a dial-in so that we can talk about your numbers while we're actually sitting there. So the first one to call in is the way that's going to go. I'll put the Saturday, I'll call it the 2-day. I'll call it a workshop, kind of what it is. Saturdays. And that starts November the 29th. What else do we have going on? Because I know it, you guys are asking me about stuff, and I don't always get on here and talk about it because I don't do a lot of lives. That's only because I've usually got 1,000,001 things going on. So that's Saturday, 2-day workshop, and then the 2-day workshop on Sundays. I'll put that link in here. Okay. You guys have any other questions? Do you have anything that you need to know before I jump off of here and go about my Friday and let you guys go about your Friday? Because I know that weekends are super relaxed usually. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to be done on a weekend, but for some reason, just sitting at that 9 to 5 job or whatever you have, it just feels good to break away for a couple of days. But wow, Sunday night comes and you're like, okay, we're right back at it. Right back at it. Okay, so I think that I've got everything in there. Um, I will be releasing the information on the April conference that's upcoming in Myrtle Beach. That is in person. Uh, Live, we're expecting about 300. So we're going to be releasing tickets for that soon. Super excited because one, it's, you're talking about the ocean is very, very close to the center where we're going to be having the conference. But then again, we have a hotel right across the road. So you can get your ocean front or you can stay right across the road. Depends on what you want to do if you're coming in to that area. I think it's going to sell out pretty quickly because we've got a lot of people in that area that are already signing up and ready to go. And I haven't even released it yet. So just hang in there. Everybody be super safe through Thanksgiving if I don't jump on here and talk to you again. Oh, I don't want to forget, I had people asking me about the Money Max webinar. I'm going to put that in here in the chat so that you can join that if you're interested in it. A lot of people ask me, what is the Money Max? I've had that at least 5 times today through email. And I want to get that information out because that is a surefire way to get out of debt a whole lot faster than a line of credit because it's an interest eliminator. So the Money Max webinar is on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll put Tuesday so people know. And it is free for you to join and find out what it's about. It's a free analysis. I mean, guys, it's about getting you educated. It's about getting you educated so that you have different options. If you don't know what's available to you, then you don't know how to move. And so the idea of these free information things we do with the Money Max, with the Debt Blaster, it's all to get you the information that you need to get educated. And then you can make decisions on which way is best for you. Some of you guys, you'll go into Velocity Banking, you get a line of credit, you're running through it, it's great. Some of you guys have low cash flow, maybe $1 of cash flow, and Velocity Banking won't work for you. Maybe you have the low credit score. Maybe you have a high DTI. Maybe you're self-employed and you can't get any kind of line of credit. That's what the Money Max is for. And then, you got the Debt Blaster. If you like spreadsheets and you want to see the comparison between, what does it look like if I use the snowball method? What does it look like if I use Velocity Banking compared to that? And what if I throw infinite banking in there? The Debt Blaster shows all of that to you. So many options, so many options. The discount code is VANNtastic Vault 30. That is just if you're paying month to month, it gives you 1 month free. If you pay for the year, and I think it's like $15 a month, but if you pay for the year, then you're going to automatically get 2 months free. So the VANNtastic Vault 30 does not work if you're paying annually to get the 2 months free. It only works if you're doing month-to-month subscription. You get the first 30 days free. Okay? I hope that makes sense. The Money Max, their cost is based off of your debt. And I know they have some great things going right now. Like you can and wow, I have so many things run through my head of how MoneyMax has helped clients, but most people are paying $1,000 to $3,000 a month in interest only. So the MoneyMax is going to come in and eliminate that interest down to sometimes 2%, very low. So if you're throwing away $1,000 a month in interest with the MoneyMax, you're probably going to be able to cut that down to 200-300 instead of 1,000, right? So the way I've seen the cost work is within 3 months, you've saved enough interest on your debt to completely pay for what you paid for the MoneyMax. But they do have payment plans now. They have subscriptions now. So there's other ways that they're working with the people. So the cost doesn't add up when you're comparing the interest cost you're paying right now to what the MoneyMax would cost. I've had the conversation with the owner a few times about his pricing is so low. I don't know how he's making any money. So they're not here to sell to you. They're here to run your numbers and see what that looks like in your situation. But if you want to join us Tuesday night and get more information, you can sign up through there to get your own free personal analysis running your numbers. And then once you have your numbers run, you don't have to guess anymore. Oh, is MoneyMax something I need to check into? Is that something that can help me? No, you're going to know because it's a guaranteed product. And once you're in it and you're set up, then it's going to get you out of debt or they won't let you in it. Okay? It's not something that they just throw out there for everybody. It has to fit your situation. It has to be a good payoff date for you. So it's worth your time to get that free analysis just so that you know what it does. And then you can walk away if that's not for you. But get educated in everything that the channel brings to you so that you're able to know what it is and how it's going to work for you. Okay? All right. So I hope I answered the question. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Oh, Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie Wealth. Nice. Hello, Miss Congeniality. Hello. I'm buying a house soon in February. I want to start this. Do I have the right idea to wait until I get my home loan before I? No, Brendan. They have lenders out there that do first lien HELOCs. That's a revolving line of credit instead of a loan. It's a simple interest line of credit. And the interest is only charged based on the average daily balance. And they do really, really good. I think I have a link below the videos with lenders, at least one of them, that I work with to help people get that first lien. Let me see if it's in first lien HELOC. You can go through there and they'll answer all of your questions. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye for now because I feel like that I'm just like doing nothing, giving you all education. Remember, study giving in the Bible on 2 Corinthians 9. If you read that and then you're like, oh, okay, that's no good, then you're not spiritually based. Because when I read 2 Corinthians 9, and I wish I had it right here in front of me, I'm going to put one of my Bibles down here. When you read that, you can't know that you know that you know God has got your back as long as you are giving and living right. Okay? It's super awesome. Should I use my 401k as a line of credit? The rate is 8%. They won't let you use that as a line of credit. You can take a loan at 8%, but you just have to pay back monthly payments, and they usually withdraw that out of your paycheck. I always think leveraging the bank is the best way to go. So leverage the bank. Some people do use 401ks to gain cash flow by paying off some debt, and gaining the cash flow and the payments. Of course, that's going to work out sometimes, but it's just the way, you're paying that back out of your check. So that's taking some of your cash flow, even though you're gaining cash flow over here. So, if it works out good, sometimes it works well. I think they say that when you pay the interest back on a 401k, you're paying it back to yourself. So that's something else that's interesting. Not a bad idea, but just saying, as far as a line of credit, I don't think it works that way. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If I don't see, I hope I can come to Texas too. I am going to be in Texas in December, but I'm just flying through, and then I'm loading up and going on to New Mexico. Woo! Woo! I've never been to New Mexico. I've never been to Texas. So I'm a little nervous. You all know how I feel about flying. It's quite stressful, but you got to do what you got to do. And it is what it is. Okay. All right. So if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to jump off of here. I will try to be back on soon, hopefully before Thanksgiving. But if I don't see you, I hope you're getting your strategy set. I hope that you're getting ready for some great holidays here. Some very financially peaceful holidays is what we're going for, right? And we're going to start 2026 out with a bang. So, hey, Margaret, thank you so much. New sub here and addicted. That is awesome. VLC. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad. I want you to learn. I want you to be excited. You too. Thank you, Dawn. Okay, guys, you all have a good one. Have a great weekend too. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.